Oh, yeah, here we go. You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything powered by the Urban Sports Team and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. It's the Commanders pregame show. The Washington Commanders are in Foxborough, Massachusetts to take on the New England Patriots. The game starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm Wole and I'm joined by my co-host Glenn. What's going on, Glenn?
What's up, man? How you feeling, brother? It is great day, man. Look, it's a new start. New start for the Washington Commanders. It's a new start.
Yeah, I think folks should be excited. It is a new start. I'm feeling good, man, compared to how I was on the podcast show. So I'm feeling a lot better, bro. A lot better. My voice is okay. I still got a sick voice, but way better, more energy. So I'm all for it, man. It's different, right? Change brings a little bit of excitement. Disappointing not to have certain players, but change does bring a certain amount of excitement.
But I'm gonna stay there. I know we got guests coming in, but if the team changes and the players are different, are you as disappointed?
Wins help out, but if they're different, I'm not disappointed. But if it's the same thing, to me, it doesn't matter. It's all about, you know what I mean? Wins change everything. I'm not that type of person. Wins definitely change everything. But real quick, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel as well. All right, here's our rundown. We'll get some updates live from Gillette Stadium. We'll talk about the play of Washington's new but old defensive line. We'll also discuss the playing time of Commanders' young players today. I think it's exciting for some of the young players. They're going to get the opportunity to play. Also, we'll also talk about the keys for Commanders' victory and predictions, and then we'll finally select our Commanders fantasy football selection for the day. Glenn had a good one last week. You know what I'm saying? You had Jahan last week, right, Glenn?
I had Jahan last week.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. All right. Live from Gillette Stadium, we got Bowie TV president and CWA Sports and Entertainment's Commanders reporter Candi Waller on. What's up, Candi? Put her in. What's up, Candi?
Hey y'all. How y'all doing?
Fine. How are you doing today, Candi?
Look, I feel good. I heard you all talking when I was in the background, and I feel good too. The weather's beautiful. The weather's really, really nice here, and I'm trying to be quiet. Which is very hard for me to do, but they got rules in Gillette Stadium, y'all. So
hey, they winners, man.
They winners.
Yes.
No, go ahead, Wally.
Oh man. So I'll start off. So first off, I know our normal question: is anything glaring within the inactive list?
Well, Curtis Samuel is inactive. We know he was dealing with some injuries. I think it is important to note we know Ricky Stromberg got hurt as well. So this will be interesting. That means it's all on Tyler Larson. You know, they performed well last week, the offensive line. So this will be good to see.
Cool. So you got Chase and Montez. We talked about it before. We segued into having you on the show. But Chase and Montez, they got traded on Tuesday. Who do you expect to step up in their absence?
I mean, we're going to see a lot more, of course, Casey Hill. It's going to be interesting to see how it impacts, I think, the team overall. In my mind, it's as much as it sucked, right? For a lot of different reasons for the locker room. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's a wake-up call as well. And so we're at the halfway point of the season. So it's like, what are we going to do? Either going to swim or sink the rest of this way. So I'm looking for a difference in everybody. I'm actually also looking for a difference in Jack Del Rio.
Okay.
But look out for Casey Hill. Let's see what he does.
In terms of you saying like you would see something different from Jack Del Rio, what do you expect to see from Jack Del Rio? What difference do you think it's going to bring? He's going to try to manufacture more pressure. Will he do what he was doing with Chase when Chase and Montez were there? The same thing. Will he just try to rush forward? What would be different?
I just think he would probably. I think we'll see a bit more game planning and scheming. I think that taking away two of his assets was probably shocking, right? I think it was probably more like they weren't doing anything, you know. They were, but you get what I'm saying as a whole.
Yeah.
Um, so one of the things that I've been sharing all week is I expect not just the players, but I expect the coaches to be better as well, um, because there is still hope in the building on the season. It's not a complete wash. Um, the Patriots are looking for a win. They need a win at 2-6. So we'll just see. I think there'll be definitely a better scheme and game planning um, for today's contest for sure.
Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah. Emmanuel Forbes Jr. posted on Instagram that he's back. Does that mean that he's starting today?
Um, to my understanding, he was slated to start. Tariq Castro Fields was signed last week, but he is on the inactive list. Um, so we'll see what happens. That was my understanding. I was kind of like wait and see, but I saw that tweet as well. Um, but Jack has been a little bit more quiet about what he's going to do um, this week. I think Emmanuel has a lot of confidence. Even though the team lost last week, I think he feels a lot better. So that's telling, I feel like. So. I didn't think things went all that well last week, but.
Hey, so Glenn, you have something that you want to say?
Yeah. But last week was a bad week for him to jump in. He going against AJ Brown, right? if there was a week to put him back in, it wasn't last week, right? Because the dude, he got. I'm gonna use the term that young kids or football players use. He got exposed a couple weeks ago, right, by AJ Brown.
Sure
as a coach, I'm not putting the young guy back in that situation. This would have been a perfect week if all things equal. If Jack Del Rio wanted to bring him back, and he is starting today against the New England, because we know the New England receivers are not that great, right? This would be the great week to see what Emmanuel Forbes can do to build his confidence moving forward. As you mentioned, at the halfway point, moving forward for the future, this is a great game if he starts today. I think he'll play. It matter if he starts today or not.
Definitely, for sure.
So if he starts, would it be the same thing like we saw prior? Would he be outside and I guess St. Juice would be inside?
Yeah.
I'll go back to that.
That is not different to my understanding, which is why I'm kind of like, if we see a difference, that means schematically Jack's trying to do better.
Got you. So in terms of, I mean, it looks like it's going to be like a bunch of young folks. Could we expect to see Quan Martin?
Yes.
Yes.
It sounds like it's an opportunity for all the young guys. Now, that's another message that even some veterans were saying last week in the locker room. Like, hey, you hate to see Chase and Montez go. We understand this is a business, but this is an opportunity for the young guys to step up and show what they can do and get some good film out there.
But but not only opportunity for the young guys, is opportunity for Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen to reassert themselves back into this defense and to hear their names called much more. It seemed like those two guys' names disappeared for the last 3 or 4 weeks, except for when you're doing pipe bombs. You cutting promos with reporters.
Absolutely. I mean, it was for sure a wake up call. Right? You all have probably heard me say that this was their moment. This was their opportunity to show how much capital they actually are worth, but it did not result in more in the win column.
Yeah.
So they didn't wait till the end of the season to break them up. So it was basically you're not performing in the way that you should. We're gonna go ahead and break this up now.
How much pressure? Daron. I feel like Daron Payne's name has always been kind of. He's made plays throughout. He's made a lot of plays this season. So you've heard Daron Payne's name out there a lot in terms of making plays for this team. How much pressure is it on Jonathan Allen to step up and produce since the other dudes have been out?
I think it's all the pressure.
That's what
right? I think it's all the pressure. I mean, he's one of the team captains. He's the one that was loud about his frustration. But you are, to Glenn's point, the name that we hear the least.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do? If you're that mad, do something about it. In terms of your own performance.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think he'll play a lot better knowing that now it's all on him and Payne? It's truth be told, it's really all on him and Payne to produce pressure because they're the lead dogs now. Everybody just follows them. Is there pressure? I mean, do you feel like he will play better?
I would hope so. I do think I think that sent a huge message. I think it sent a huge message. You all have underperformed. We're breaking this up. It's on you. You mad? Do something about it. I think it has to show improve on the field in the film, and it hasn't.
Right.
The
And you,
unfortunate truth is it has not.
Mhm. You're the 31st defense, but you got one of the biggest salaries. I mean,
Yeah,
your 31st defense. Josh Allen ain't paid $6 billion for nothing, right? He didn't pay six.
exactly.
He paid $6 billion. One investment, one return on his investment. And
And
as soon as
and I'm gonna tell you all. You all were saying this a moment ago. Walking around stadiums, you see the championship banners. The Patriots were what 6.
mhm.
Yeah, Brady
You
is
know,
6.
uh, FedEx don't look like this. You know, so you got these players who's
Oh.
making all this money. FedEx does not look like this, and so there's an expectation. And you're right, $6 billion is a lot of money not to see a return on the investment today. So the wins have to get started.
So, all right, Katie, last question. What do you want to see out of Washington today in this game? I mean, forget wins and losses. Like, what do you want to see out of them?
I want to see aggression. I want to see aggressiveness. I want
Mhm.
to see fast tempo. I want to see the pressure. I want to see the gifted quarterback. I want to see mistake-free football.
Mm.
Right? I want to see mistake-free football. I think we've seen enough of that
Mhm.
from the Commanders this season. And I'm talking about, you know, some of your favorite players not catching footballs. I don't want to see that. You
Mhm.
know, whatever jitters, whatever angst anybody had, that's we passed that now.
Mhm.
Because they do still have a chance, I guess, to make the playoffs.
That
I mean,
word, that,
but
that P word is nasty. That's nasty work.
but we
That's
all know
nasty
that.
work. That's
Hold
nasty
on.
work, Katie. That's nasty work.
It's nasty, but the NFC is wide open. We know this, right?
Yes.
Oh my
The-
God,
the-
I'm not
it-
giving these people no hope, man. I ain't giving none of these fans hope. I'm
Hey,
not doing that.
it's
I
not
ain't doing it.
hope, but it's reality, man. It's
Nah,
reality.
man.
It's
Now
fact.
we lose to the Bears and the Giants. I'm not doing that here, man. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not
I
doing it.
mean,
Then the Bears and the Giants have hope. Then I'm not doing that. We don't say they have hope. I'm not doing that.
right. I
I'm
was just
not
trying
doing.
to. I was just looking at the numbers, trying to say it's a possibility.
I know what I'm
Do I
saying.
think
Like,
it's a
yeah, I feel
possibility?
it.
No.
Got you. I got you. In terms of like, I got you.
But I want to
Stats and
see.
numbers. There's
But
hope.
yeah, I want to see mistake free. I want to see. I want to see mistake free football. That's what.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, Candy, thanks for being on. Hopefully, we'll have you back on next week as usual.
All
Yes,
right,
I
bye,
told you I'm
Candy.
not traveling to Seattle. Full transparency, I'm not traveling to Seattle, but I
Yeah,
will be
buddy,
at
I
the
know.
game.
Cool.
All right,
Appreciate
it's
you,
All
cool.
man.
right,
Appreciate you.
cool.
All
All right,
At least I ain't
yeah.
gotta tell you. At least I ain't gotta tell you to stay warm up there. It's already warm.
right. All right,
All right, see
Candy.
y'all.
See
See
you.
you.
Bye.
Right. Yeah, Candy's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Good insight, man. Very good insight. So yeah, let's go. Let's get into it.
All right.
We talked about a little bit though, but with Candy, with Washington losing their sack leaders in Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Who do you think will lead the team in sacks today? And we actually had this poll up too on our X account as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Deron Payne.
Okay.
Deron Payne. I think will lead sacks today, coming up the middle. I would say Casey Toohill if I had to pick a second one, because I think he's gonna benefit from the pressure. If they go to the Cinco formation they like to use, where they stretch Jonathan Allen out and he becomes the defensive end. You might have a chance for Jonathan Allen, but again, I think this defensive line. I've been saying it for time. I think this defensive line is better without one of the two guys that left. You know what I'm saying? Without Chase Young, I always thought that. I mean, it's been there not because of Chase Young's ability and not Chase Young's talent. I always thought that before. And big news media has been saying it. I've been saying it first. I'm not, to be honest, that they play better because these guys, the Casey Toohills, James Smith Williams, they play technically sound football, right? They don't deviate, right? They're disciplined. I'm gonna use the word that reporters used this week about Chase Young. They're more disciplined than Chase Young, and so because of their discipline, they're gonna reap the benefits of the discipline. And so I think that's why the defense plays better without those two guys. They have more discipline when it comes to the run game as well as the pass game. And so I think if I had to pick one today, as I mentioned earlier, it would be Deron Payne.
Man, Armand Brown said this would be the best game to see who we got. Do y'all think we'll change our base to a 3-4, which gives Payne and Allen a chance to rush from a wide technique? That's a good point. That's a nice thought. I kind of think I think they'll stay in 4-3 because I think I'm not sure Payne is more like that, in terms of being a nose. I mean, in terms of Payne being who would be a nose, you think they would both have them as ends? And Payne would be outside. Would Payne and Allen be outside in terms of the D ends in a 3-4, and they would have to get a nose tackle? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to me, I would do Daron Payne since he works particularly in that 1-2 gap or that two eye anyway.
Yeah.
I would put him as a nose. Casey Hill and Jonathan Allen on the outside if he could do that. But
I don't know if he would want to be a nose. That's the thing. I don't think he would.
I don't think he want to be neither. But the problem with running the 3-4 is we don't have the 4 linebackers capable.
Well, I think he's saying that next season. He's saying next season they'll change season. The whole thing up. I think that's what. He's saying next season they'll change it all up, and they'll. I could see him doing it. Like I can see him doing it. Depends on the defensive coordinator, right? But
that's why I'm going to point to
defensive coordinator.
That's why I'm going to point out too. Defensive coordinator, Jack is gone. I think Jack is gone. So,
but it's definitely a possibility. It's just all. I feel like it depends on if Payne what they want to do with Payne, because I don't think Payne wants to play nose. I don't think he wants to play nose at all. I don't think so. But for me, I expect who I think that to step up. I think it will be Allen. I think it'll be Jonathan Allen. I feel like there's an opportunity to get what he pretty much won. He pretty much is used to. He's used to not worrying about trying to, he's used to just being the alpha on the line. Like he doesn't have to worry about the guy beside him trying to, doing his own thing to get a sack, to try to get sacks, right? I feel like now he's going to have the opportunity. The other dudes will fall in line because the talent dictates that. You know what I'm saying? The talent dictates that. I feel like the way Jack coaches this team up, and it's not just Chase. I know people want to just throw Chase there. It's Montez too. Like the way Jack coaches them up, the other two dudes fit the two interiors better, to keep it a buck. Does Sweat play better with Allen compared to like a Chase? Yes. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to say that. But I do think in terms of you telling me, does it help Allen and Payne more to have two guys who will lower their ego because the two individuals are star players? I believe so. I think that's just a thing. It's just like in basketball where if you have a starting unit with nothing but Hall of Famers and All Stars, you're gonna have some friction. One guy's gonna want to do something their way. That's just that's the nature of the beast when you're dealing with supreme talent. But you have guys who are grunt guys like a PJ Tucker and whatnot. They're gonna do whatever the star. We're gonna work around the star. Yeah. So the two stars, it is what it is. The money allocated to this team is the interior. So the interior is what it's based on. That is what it's based on. It is based on the interior. So the interior has to dominate. And if your ends that are trying to do their thing, it does hinder the interior. Like if you look at all defensive lines in the past, like you don't never have premier. And I've said this before. If you have high talented defensive ends, you don't usually subdue your skill set for the interior. That doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't happen. Like even as great as Warren Sapp was, when they got Simeon Rice was doing his own thing. Why? Because Simeon Rice was a supreme pass rusher. We weren't worried about Simeon Rice gapping like his integrity within working with Warren Sapp. They were just rushing up the pass to go to the quarterback. It's a different era of football because there's more mobile quarterbacks now compared to compared to what there was back then. But that's the point, right? Yeah. So they feel like with unit with Smith Williams and Casey Hill, they're going to be working off of Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, and that's the scheme that Jack wants to run. So I do think in the grand scheme of things, to your point, I think the line could be better. It's potentially could be better because of it. Everybody knows their role, if that makes any sense. And that's the thing.
They have to be better. I mean, they're 31st ranked. Only thing up right now is to go up, right? But it's like what Candi said. I want to see what does Jack do differently, right? Because again, even though you had great players, your Montez Sweats, your Chase Youngs, did Jack put them in the right position or in the right place to be successful? And some people said no. Some people believe that Jack didn't put them in the right call or the right formation or hold them accountable enough to get the job done. Because that's the thing that came to me when they talk about Chase being undisciplined, right? This is what the organization allegedly said, right? Yeah. If the organization allegedly said this, then that falls back on the head coach and the defense coordinator. Why would you play somebody who's undisciplined. Here we go. Or you showing respect to person because you benched Emmanuel Forbes for being undisciplined.
Because you put no stats though. Because you was winning. That's why. That's why it don't make sense. That's why that argument. Don't get me started on that argument because when you do all the PFF and all that stuff, winning and beating, he was beating his man one-on-one. Literally beating his man one-on-one off the rip. You taped them like he was doing that too. You could pick up tape that he wasn't, but there's plenty of tape that said he won, and he had 4 or 5 sacks.
Well, the tape that comes out that he wasn't was the dude already knew he was on the trading block, right? Dude already knew the organization didn't want him because let's be honest, he didn't just find out that day. His agent been discussing these things. They've been talking, and so he go into a game like I'm a lame duck anyway, right?
Yeah. Which people do. I mean, athletes do it all the time. I don't even think to be honest with you, that game, people want to. I don't think Montez played with the same energy that game than he usually does.
He didn't.
Yeah. So, but but I understand. Like, I think as human beings, I get it. Like, I understand. I know a lot of people want to be like, oh, he didn't play a certain way. If you, like you said, if you know you're going to get traded, 9 times out of 10, a lot of players tend to like, I'm not gonna put my 110% effort in that particular game. But the poll we had, they have Casey Toohill. People said that Casey Toohill would lead the team in sacks 45%. 52% had Daron Payne. 3% have Allen, and Smith Williams has 0%. Damn, y'all got no love for Smith Williams?
No love for Jonathan Allen. The Jonathan Allen one is surprising, man. No love for Jonathan Allen, right?
I know, bro. No love. My man Razor Ramon said pain. with a gif of Mr. T saying pain. My prediction, pain. I like that one. And also I think I had somebody said a prediction. Let me see. Pull this up real quick. I'm gonna try to read these out. My man, it's Ty said Toohill pop out game, 100%. My man John Williams said Jamin Davis, they'll blitz him more to generate a pass rush. That would bother me if they blitz Jamin Davis more. That would bother the hell out of me. I swear, because it would make no sense to me why you would blitz more. That would bother me. I prefer you to if Jack stays the same, then I'm kind of okay with it. Like, because that's something like I feel like just because you have 4 first-round defensive ends doesn't mean you don't have to blitz. That would bother me. I'm sorry, that would bother me. I feel like that would be dumb.
Yeah,
that's backwards to me. Like, I get why you would want it. You would say not blitz, but in the end of the day, like you're still losing people in coverage. So why you could do the same thing with talent? If your philosophy is to be a blitzing type of dude, then be a blitzing type dude. If your philosophy is not to blitz, then don't blitz. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. That's not his philosophy though.
Yeah. So if he blitzes more because of, that would be interesting to me. It would be. All right. So to another topic, bro. Like, how excited are you to see Sam Howell against a Bill Belichick defense? Like in terms of the maturation process for Sam Howell.
I thought you meant playing for Bill Belichick. That's a whole different conversation. But I'm excited to see Sam Howell against Bill Belichick. We know Bill Belichick has always been known in this league for making young quarterbacks frazzle, right? Or making young quarterbacks have some trepidation about playing his defense, or the way that he disguised and schemed things. He always kind of confused them. So it'd be interesting to see Sam Howell against Bill Belichick. But I told you, I think I mentioned on the podcast, I'm not excited to see Sam Howell versus Bill Belichick. I'm more excited to see Eric Bieniemy calling plays for Sam Howell against a Bill Belichick, right? Because now Eric should be in his ear today. Eric should be doing something that Sean McVay did for Jared Goff. Was Eric should be telling Sam, if he understands what Bill Belichick is doing, where to go with the football, right? In his helmet, giving him a pre-snap read because he was the green dot for a reason. Okay, this is who I want you to have to give the ball to. This is what's going to be open based off what I see, right? So Eric should be more into Sam Howell's ear than anything this week if he feel like Sam is getting confused or mixed up by what Bill Belichick is trying to bring.
Yeah, I like that Eric Bieniemy versus Belichick. But in terms of, I'm excited for Sam Howell. I want to see if he could take his game to the next step. You know, because like you mentioned earlier, we talked about it on the podcast episode, is that like rookies tend to struggle against a a Belichick defense, and
Mhm.
I feel like if he can be successful against that defense, with to me got solid safety play, and
Mhm.
Kyle Duggar and Julie and my man Peppers went to Michigan, my guy. My
Yeah,
guy.
I think so.
Jabril Peppers went to Michigan, my guy. But like knowing that you're going against two tough safeties and what Belichick likes to do to kind of fool the eyes of a young quarterback, I just feel like, and I think the rookie quarterback's playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing
Yes.
for the Patriots. He's not hurt, right? He's playing. So yeah, knowing that you're going against a talented secondary and in a Bill Belichick system, I feel like this could be a game where I'm excited to see what Sam Howell has into him. So I think Sam Howell has the opportunity if he could just turn up and have a quality game. I expect them to score in the 20s this game. I feel like you learn from the Giants game. I felt like EB learned from the Giants game. I don't think that will be you won't see a game like that. I mean, my man George has a comment. I have a feeling this game will be more like the Giants game. Okay, low scoring and foul. I don't think it'll be like that. I think EB learned. It won't be as stubborn. I think he's going to learn from it. This may actually not be a complete Sam Howell game. This may be a Brian Robinson game. It may be a game he just leans more to the run game, or tries to get in third and short a lot, or the quick game. I expect EB to learn from what that Giants game did and how what he needs to do to call a better game for Sam Howell if a situation like that occurs. And also, I do think like the offensive line, the reshift offensive line is a lot better for Sam Howell compared to what he had to deal with Nick Gates and company. So I do think there's more. I'm not saying this offensive line is the Hogs, but it's more of a respectable NFL offensive line compared to what it was prior.
Right, and you're not playing a shabby defense neither, though. And I
No,
think
you're not.
These defenses, I believe they're ranked within the top 10 or top 11 in the league right now. So they're not playing a shabby defense, right?
Yeah.
So he has to be able to take care of football.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. Take care of the football, man. That's one of the things. Be able to take care of the football. Don't turn the ball over. Some say the turnover last week was costly. It was costly, but again,
it happens.
It happens, right? It happens. Take care of the football, and I think Sam will be improved. I think he's learning each week. Yeah. To me, I think he's getting better each week.
Me too. That's what I'm saying. And also, like, I mean, the interception was costly, so with the drops. So I mean,
yeah, the drops too.
Yeah. So I mean,
like to agree to George's point, one thing you are playing a team that don't score a lot of points, right? They're not. Yeah. They're last in the league in points per game. Let's be I know George. I know the Giants wasn't scoring points neither, nor had sacks. I'm just going by stats, right?
Yeah.
The New England Patriots is tied for 31st in the league for points per game. Right? I'm just being honest. That's where it's at. So they only average 14 points a game. That's 2 touchdowns. So by what you were saying, Wally, a few minutes ago, if Washington scores 24 or 21, they should win.
They should win. No, they should. They should. But I mean, again, Washington lets anybody look good. So I tend to. We'll see. They make everybody look good. That defense makes everybody look good. Washington is the feel-good team. They're the homecoming. Their defense, I'm sorry, is the homecoming game.
Yeah, it's a homecoming game.
Yeah, their defense is a homecoming game. If your offense is struggling,
you play them.
Know what I'm saying? Play Washington. If your defense needs some sacks, play Washington. Other than last week, like they're a homecoming type of game in terms of what you need with stats. George says, if the defense makes Mac Jones look like a decent NFL quarterback, then that better be be all she wrote for Ron and Jack. I agree. I think.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, then we can stop putting blame on other people. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to do. Like it's all good. It's all good to blame other people. Need to look in the mirror. That's what I like about EB. When EB foul up and he goes to that podium, I believe on Thursdays or whatnot for the coordinators. He's out there saying if he messes up, it's on me. That's what I respect about EB. He'll say it's on me. Ron just he tends to say, we gotta stay disciplined. Like it's never, it's barely where it's on me. It's always something else. So yeah, I'm all this is what I'm all for this. I'm for Washington kind of keeping this momentum. I mean, not keeping this momentum. I'm all about the young players. Speaking of the young players, Glenn, we talked about Emmanuel Forbes. Emmanuel Forbes looks like. Because we mentioned to Candi about his IG popping, saying like he back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree if he does start? Do you agree that Emmanuel Forbes is the right move? If this is the right move?
Yes, because you drafted so it's the right move because you drafted a kid high, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't abandon your high draft pick that quickly, right? What we saw in training camp and what we saw the first couple of games, the guy is there, right? Let's be honest, he's in position. There's sometimes that athlete is better than him, and they're taking balls away from him, or things of that nature. So I want to see Emmanuel Forbes grow, right? I want to see him pan out. And sometimes as a rookie, he has growing pains, right? Just like if it was a quarterback, he would have growing pains. Sometimes you bench him, you bring him back. So I want to see Emmanuel Forbes. How can he bounce back from this? How can he bounce back from being benched? Yeah. Did he learn something? Did he get better technique? Did he get better skills? How did Jack with him? How did it work with him? How did the defensive back coach work with him to get him better, right? That's what I want. That's the only way to see that is by letting them play. And this, as I mentioned earlier, this is a great week to do so because their receivers are not great.
Yeah, He's
not playing AJ Brown, right? I mean,
that's all. Yeah. I want to start there. He did not playing AJ Brown. I won't say they're not great. He's just not playing the AJ Brown. I think that's the fairest thing to say. He's not. So, but I'm glad he's playing. I'm glad he's playing. I hope he starts. I know a lot of people are like, oh man, we want to see St. Juice. St. Juice shouldn't be on the outside. I don't care where he at for real. Like St. Juice is the least of my problems. Like he can be inside, outside. I don't care. But I want to see Emmanuel Forbes where he's best comfortable because at the end of the day, his growth is what you are banking on and for the future. And it really, as much as people like St. Juice, it really ain't St. Juice. He could be replaceable. He's replaceable to me down the road. He's been solid this year. I mean, I still think Kendall Fuller's been the best cornerback on the squad this season. I don't think that's really debatable. But I will say that, like, in terms of this team's futures, it does rely on Emmanuel Forbes. And I want Emmanuel Forbes to get all the burn he can get. Like, we're talking about really, trying to see what the young dudes are doing. Like, you trading Tez and Young. You showed the locker room like, okay, we about seeing what our guys can do now, like our younger guys can do. I want to see Quan Martin. I do. I want to see Quan Martin start. No knock on anybody else. I want to see Quan Martin start. I mean, I think Percy Butler's out. So I want to see Quan Martin start in his spot. I want to see.
I want to see Khalid Hudson, man.
Oh yeah, I want to see Khalid. I want to see Khalid Hudson. I don't want to see Mayo. This is a game where I know Jabril Cox was signed to the roster.
Right.
Like, play these dudes, man. Like, see what you got. You know what Mayo is. You know what all these players, these players that you bring in just to hold spots. You know what they are. Like, I want to see Jones, the kid from Louisiana. I want to see him play defense. I want to see him play in the rotation. KJ Henry. I mean, I wasn't impressed with KJ Henry in preseason, but he's gonna get an opportunity to play. I want to see him play too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see all these Chris Paul at guard. Like, he's starting. I want to see, wish Stromberg was healthy because I would want to see Stromberg. I want to see all of these dudes that you drafted play, like all of them, because it gets to now. It's to like Ronald got nothing to lose. He about to be fired anyway after the season.
You lay all your cards out on the table, bro.
Yeah. So just play your guys. You talk about development. Like, this is for you. This is your development for you, Ron, because you ain't gonna be around for them kids to develop for real. So this season is the development process for you as a coach.
It's Super Bowl.
Well, it's freaking Super Bowl, but barring a special run.
No, I'm talking about for Ron Rivera. I'm talking about for Ron Rivera because that's
for his life. That's the only way. I don't even think the playoffs don't even matter. To your point, Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, it's Super Bowl or bust for Ron Rivera. So come on, they call you Riverboat Ron for a reason. All chips are in, baby.
Yeah, all facts. All
Riverboat Ron. All chips are in
for this. Yes, I agree, because I don't even think nothing saves your job for real than what we're talking about. So play all the dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? You could keep mentioning Sam Howell all you want in these pressers to use that talking point to act like this is the reason why they should keep you, bro. That thing ain't working, so don't worry about it. You just hope that you could turn things around. Just hope that you could galvanize the team to a point where you don't go on them that 5-game winning streak. You go on how many? What is their record? They're 4-5. No, 3-5. They're 3-5. 3-5. Stop trying to hype their record up.
3-5. You got 8 games left. 3-5. That's 3-5.
Stop trying to hype their record up. You gotta be laughing, man. There's actually 9 games left because they got an extra game, right?
Oh, sorry, it's 17. It's 17 games now.
So yeah, they better hope they go 12 and you better go win 9 in a row. Because that's the only way you saving your team.
9 in a row, he's still fired unless he wins. It's Super Bowl or bust for him.
9. If he go, I ain't gonna lie, he win 9 straight, and if he wins 9 straight and gets to and wins a playoff game, I don't know. That would be hard. I won't lie to you. You guys are right about Martin and Hudson playing. Look what Paul and Larson did when they finally got a chance. Totally agree, man.
Hey, Lovie Smith went 10-6 and got fired.
Yeah, he black. Yeah. That's different. I mean, Ron is Hispanic, but still, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's what it is. Yeah, but the culture hasn't changed, and it starts with him.
Yeah,
it starts with him. Him and Del Rio both are gone. I think they need to get a turn. They need to go. But again, this team has to look better today. You made changes, and you have to look better. Not necessarily because I'm just one of those guys, and y'all can, I think the offenses look better each and every week.
I agree. Other than the Giants game.
Other than the Giants game, the defense just hadn't caught up with them. And I think if the defense was able to be where it was at last year,
it's a different team. It's been a
different team, different story. We're having a different conversation right now. You're looking at a 5-3 team, maybe
better than that, maybe
6-2, somewhere down that line.
Agreed.
I totally agree. We just need the defense to catch up with the offense right now because this team is putting up points. Let's not forget this offensive team is putting up points. Ray always talk about me. Always laugh about it. I'm talking about a prolific offense, not necessarily like that, but they're putting up points. So again,
compared to where they were last year,
compared to where they was at last year. So
no, I definitely agree with that. I agree with that statement. All right, so Glenn, what are your keys for a Commanders victory? Run the ball, right?
No, actually against them, against the New England Patriots, I would say to throw the ball.
Because they're good against the run, right?
Yeah, they're decent against the run. They're decent against the run. They're in the top 10 against the run defense. Top 10 run defense in the league. Average only about 97.9 yards a game. So less than 100 yards, which is what Washington averages anyway. So if you get them, you want to throw the ball against them, and which throwing the ball, opening up a little bit will open up the run game. So if you're Washington, you want to get Sam Howell hot early. You want to get Terry McLaurin hot early. You want to see a Jahan Dotson. I can say reemergence. He had one good game last week, but you got to put a string of games together before I say reemergence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. we saw Jahan Dotson, so you have to be able to throw the ball a little bit. Maybe Antonio Gibson get into the pass game this week, which will open up the run game for the Washington defense. The other thing I need to see Washington, another key to victory for Washington is to be able on defense to be able to get off the field on third down. Get off the field on third down, please, right? Get off the field on third down. And then offensively, on third down, being able to convert third downs because this team is ranked 29th on converting third downs. So third down is key on both sides of the ball for the Washington Commanders to be able to win today's game.
Yeah, for me, keys to Commanders victory is to not win the turnover battle. That's important. Mm-hmm. Turn Mac Jones over. Try to find Terry McLaurin early. I think that's very important to get him early. And the defense to win the third down battle. Like I think that's essential for them to win the third down battle. If they find Terry early, the defense wins the third down battle and they win the turnover battle. I think they win this football game. I felt like this year they've been piss poor on third downs for the defense. They've been piss poor. I mean, offensively too, in terms of converting third downs, they haven't been great either. But in terms of this defense, they've been piss poor, especially on third and long. They've given up a lot of third and long first downs. So I just think that, in my opinion, they can, if they get better, they're better on third down. I believe that they can win this game. Win third down, turnover battle. Third down, turnover battle, and what did I say? Win third down and get Terry the ball early. Then they're good. I think they're real good.
Guys listening, what are your keys?
I guess my man is evil individual. So
Yeah.
there is no key. I can tell you're a Commanders hater. There is no key for the Commanders. I can tell this dude. Look here, I can tell. Here, this is when I get scary Terry, not so scary. This is what I could tell. This is when I saw something like that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But one thing that's key, and we said it now.
Respect though, bro. Respect. I
Well, respect. With this is funny stat, right? George, you probably laugh at this. With Chase Young gone, Montez Sweat gone, Casey Hill now leads the team in sacks.
I know. I mean,
it's
not the dudes that you would think, right?
Right. Hey, and not do you think? And Logan Thomas leads the team in touchdown receptions.
Yeah. All right. So George said, key to victory, field position, keep the ball pinned back because they shouldn't be able to consistently drive the ball, and they might give Washington a short field with a turnover or good returns.
I'm glad you mentioned good returns.
Good one, special teams, yeah.
Especially because Jameson Crowder has been doing a good job for the last couple weeks.
Man, great job, man. And Curtis Samuel's being out, he's going to probably get a lot of burn as a third receiver.
Yeah, and as a receiver last week, he did a good job receiving a football. Something. So I mean, everybody talked about Dex Milan at the beginning of the season, but Dex couldn't. He didn't receive like Jameson Crowder was. Let's be honest, Jameson Crowder was a starting wide receiver in this league for many years.
Yeah, Dax was trash, man.
Dax was trash.
Let's keep the buck. Dax was trash. I'm sorry. I don't know you personally, Dax. I mean, you better than me as a football player. I'm not going to take that away from you, but I'm trash too. So,
but as a returner,
you trash as a returner, though.
Yeah, as a returner. I'm gonna say as a returner.
I don't know your receiver. I can't even say as a receiver. I don't know. You're in terms of the sense of watching football. You're a regular receiver to me, and that's not I guess that's good because you can catch the ball. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like doing anything special, you're like, I've seen you before. Put it that way. I've seen your type of receiver before. Yeah. All right, Glenn. Prediction, bro.
Washington 21, New England 14.
All right, 21-14.
21-14. 21-14.
I think I said 31 in a pick group. I said 31-30 Washington because I don't trust this defense. I just don't care for this defense. Or they got to prove it to me. I got to see what you got to show me. George has 17-16 New England, and George also has another comment. Let me give George some respect. By the way, the shots taken to Chase Young by the team are a disgrace. Agreed. And Josh Harris has to figure out who the snakes are and get them out of this organization in January. I agree. I don't like that dirty work. This is something this team has done over the years, which I don't like. And either it's an agenda always when someone's leaving or still there or somebody don't like, and it's always chatter.
But it was chatter about Chase. There was no chatter about Montez.
Nah, I'm not talking about Chase. It's the narrative. They do that with certain people. They've always done that. It doesn't. It's always been like that.
But to that point, I know this was that statement false though.
I feel like it didn't have to be said.
All right. It did.
Because that's dirty work. That's just dirty work.
I agree.
False because there's a lot of players. Like they did that with some of your favorite players, bro. Like they did that with LeVar Arrington. It's dirty work. It's always been like that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It didn't have to be said. But
they did it. They did it with Clinton Portis. Look how hard he worked.
Yeah.
Like it's dirty work, man. They do this all the time. Like that's the problem. They do this. It's just dirty work, man. And forget what you feel about a player. It's dirty work. True, false, or whatever. That don't even. Truth be told, it don't even matter. True, false, or whatever. Because there's a lot of players. I can name you a bunch of popular players, or whatever. That have come, Shanahan's do it too when he was here. He used to do it to a lot of players.
He did it,
and you knew he was elite, but he would do it.
Yeah, he would leak it. Shanahan would leak it. Yeah, he would leak the information.
And then no one would say, and it'd be the same because it's agenda. Like okay, to make that person seem a certain way, so you feel good about him being gone. That's all it is. It's just, so you could be like, okay, that's why they did it. It's cool. That's why they do it. It's nothing about being true. It's like they want you to feel good about it.
It's a PR twist. I mean, it's what it is.
Congrats to, and now like even like the contract, you got people saying, "What is it? Contracts?" Oh, I'm sorry, Jordan. Congrats to Montez for getting it back. I wouldn't have wanted Washington to pay that. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that too. That's now a narrative. Like I'm glad we traded Montez because Washington wasn't going to pay it. I see why they traded because Washington wasn't going to pay that. And my argument is if Montez balled out. he would
deserve it.
He deserved it. That's what I'm saying. Like the people, like when Payne did it, everybody wasn't mad. Payne got the bag. Nobody mad about Payne getting the bag. I'm just saying, like
on a bad football team, Payne got the bag.
I'm just saying, like, oh, you tripping? This ain't that New England team, bro. Stop.
It's not that
now
New
you
England
tripping.
team.
Stop.
They ain't scored 56.
Randy Moss ain't coming back to the building, bro. Stop it. Tom Brady ain't walking through Gillette. Stop that. Now you get extra.
They ain't scored 56 points in 2 games, man.
Yeah, exactly. But no. That's what I'm saying. Like the money thing, I agree. I mean, I know where folks are coming from. That's a lot of money, and I'm happy for Montez. Like I am happy for Montez because I do think people like the Bears know what they got. I'm telling you, Montez gonna ball out. I know he's gonna ball out. He's gonna ball out because he can do whatever on that defensive line. He is now the alpha. He don't got to worry, and it's not a knock on the other players. He don't got to work. They got to work for. They're gonna have to work for Montez, and Montez won't have to work for the other people anymore.
Right, they're gonna have to build that Bears team around Montez.
Exactly,
and around Montez, and they haven't had a pass rusher in years.
Yeah,
this team, and when you give somebody 4 years, $98 million, and I can't remember what was guaranteed.
I think 70 was it 73?
73, something like that.
Something crazy like that.
Something crazy like that is guaranteed. That means they're trusting you, right? They're building everything around you. And now Montez, who's played with a chip on his shoulder, who's a good athlete, can make his own name without a name of Chase Young. Because let's be honest, the narrative was the reason we heard it. The reason that Montez gets all the sacks is because Chase Young is on the other side.
That ain't no narrative. That wasn't a narrative. That's not the narrative. That's your narrative.
No, people have said that.
No, ain't no narrative.
People have said that because of the other three. It was why Montez was eating. Now Montez get to show that I was that guy.
No,
I am that guy.
I think people always. There's never been a negative in my opinion. There's never been a negative on Montez. The only thing about I thought Montez, because Montez was there before Chase, and Montez would always kind of get close. The only thing about Montez is the same thing we talk about Chase. He would get close, but he couldn't finish. Yeah, that's it. It's the same thing. Like you'd be like, damn, Montez got a lot of pressures, but you'd be like,
for 4 years, $98 million, you need to be 11 to 12 sack guy.
Yeah, I think he will be. But I think that this line has been dictated because it's cool to have two defensive tackles who rush the pass. I think it's pretty cool. But now it's like I don't got to worry about that. I can do whatever. I can go outside wide. I can spin back middle. I can experiment to get to the quarterback. I don't got to worry about messing up my D tackles because they ain't getting the quarterback. I can get them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be straight. I really do. Chase Young goes to San Francisco as the leading sacker on the squad, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? With Bosa on that team.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
That's crazy. But I mean, it works out. They get what they need too. So
everybody, you get what they need. And a new place, man, for both players. So I think that's gonna help them out tremendously. All right, so predictions. Glenn, we did predictions already. I said we already did that. All right, your fantasy football player.
Oh.
Who gonna ball out for the Commanders? Who will be your Commanders fantasy football player?
All right, I haven't done this.
And George, go ahead. Anybody listening? Give us your Commanders fantasy football player for today.
I haven't done this in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna go with, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going with Sam Howell. Sam Howell's my guy. Sam Howell gets 300 yards, 3 touchdowns today.
Ooh, that'd be dope. My fantasy football player today. You know what? I'm gonna shock people because now I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna put De'Ami Brown. I think De'Ami gonna have a big day. Curtis Samuel's out. I think De'Ami gonna get some playing time. I think he's gonna have a couple of big explosive plays, maybe a touchdown. De'Ami Brown, my surprise fantasy football player for today, man. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, who cares? Who cares? Anybody else who got a tweet? I mean, a comment or whatever. George said that one.
Yeah.
Jamison Crowder. I like that one. Touchdown. He can get a tutty. He can get a touchdown, a big kickoff return. I like that. Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, I like Crowder. I like Crowder too, man. I like Crowder back in. I always like Crowder in this organization.
Oh man, Crowder's been great. I'm glad they got him back. I never wanted him to leave, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that was a big fan of him leaving.
Yeah, me either. Anybody got any more comments? Feel free to throw them out before we close the show. I'm giving y'all a couple more minutes. If not,
you notice no one said anybody on the defense, right? No Deron Payne, no Jonathan.
No, but you gotta say defense as a whole in fantasy. That's why.
Yeah, you gotta say defense. No one said Washington defense.
Why would they? I mean, they could though. Truth be told, they could.
Against the New England Patriots.
I picked them last week, and I was wrong. Them dudes disappointed my life. I picked their defense last week, and they were horrible.
But against the Patriots, I think you can say the Washington.
You can. You just can't trust them. It's unfortunate. You just can't trust that team. You can't trust that defense because it's just they're like Forrest Gump. Like life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get with that defense.
You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know.
Yeah,
like,
you never know.
So. All right, man. Before we close the show out, don't forget to tune into our post-game show directly after the game. We'll be on YouTube, Facebook, and X Live. So make sure you tune in. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything and hit us up on IG at ABG_everything and like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the red subscribe button right now and like this video. All right, man, this has been dope. Hopefully the Commanders win. We have a positive show because there's been a lot of negative, and I've been negative. I'm trying to be positive.
I've been negative.
I've been negative. Like I'm trying to be positive. Y'all not. This team ain't allowing me to be great. And I want to say this to Commanders fans, for real, Redskin Commander fans. I can say both. I don't care. Being a Redskin Commander fan is stressful. It's very stressful, and I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't. I really don't. I don't wish, and I feel like we kind of do ourselves a big. We should. We want our kids. You have kids. We want our kids to be, to fill that legacy and be Redskin Commanders fans. But I feel like sometimes some of y'all are bad parents because you getting your kids stressed out, and these kids don't deserve to be stressed out, man. That's kind of evil work. That's nasty work for real.
Yeah.
But I get it. I get why you want to. That's nasty work because I'm telling you, living this experience over my 42 years of being on this world, man. I'm telling you, the stress, the heartbreak.
Yeah, at least I can say I saw them win Super Bowls.
I did. I saw them win a Super Bowl. Like 91. That's the one I remember. 91. Like I visually remember 91. That's the Super Bowl. I can tell folks that I visually remember 91. Can't speak for 87. I remember a little bit.
I remember that one.
You remember it? I remember a little bit. 87.
I'm a little bit older than you, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But I remember a little bit. Like I remember like Ricky Sanders going crazy. Like that's what I remember. 87. Mm-hmm. But I remember being. I was sick. 91 watching the Super Bowl. I was sick watching it, and I remember that whole season. That whole season was special. I remember that whole 14-2 season. Yeah. I remember almost play by play. I remember a lot. Like I remember we did the Dion in that season. That playoff man. We did the Barry Sanders in the NFC Championship game. Yeah,
I remember all that, man. It was living in Germany, so I had to get up at different time zones.
Wow.
Like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning just watch Super Bowl. So
exactly. My man George said I was at 80. I was at 87 and 91. Was on almost every week in Southwest Florida because of how good they were. Yeah, man. We were special back then, man. We were must see TV back then, man. It's sad. We suck now. We just suck. Anyway. You've been listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out.